Care package inbound.
Hi everyone, it's Nathan Stein here. I am just going to run you through what I've done so far on Captain Cassian Andor's blaster. This is it here. It's very cool. If you watched my Cash and Guns board game review, you'll already know that this is the one I was going to do because I gave you a sneak peek. So this time I'm going to try and get rid of all the lettering, and as you can see I have filled all the holes other than the battery door screw hole. I just thought that might be a bit nicer so that both sides match. To do that, and if you want to do yours, the best thing is some kind of epoxy. I've used a 2-part epoxy which hardens quite quickly. I think you've got about 20 minutes work time, which is fine for little things like this. And then I'll just sand it as per normal all over. The only problem that we are going to have with the paint job obviously is this glow strike situation. You can hopefully see that the end of that is glowing. I'm not too fussed because I think it will look nicer painted like this and just have the glowing end anyway. So it'll still glow here, it just won't glow here once it's done. So that's something to think about if you want to do yours. Maybe you might want to just paint up to here. I'll be back and I'll start filming this tutorial fashion so you can follow along with me and get yours done too. I think it's going to look really cool. Okay, I'm going to start sanding. Just a top tip for you guys. These things which you get in like the makeup department, I think, of department stores, I think they're called emery boards. They're essentially throwaway nail files. You can get them in rough and you can get them in a higher grade smooth, and these things are cool because they stay solid when you're sanding rather than using your finger, which can get quite sore. So I'm going to take one of these and start removing this, hopefully. And there we go, your writing is removed. Thank you ladies who like doing your nails. Still got some to go here. A bit of a caution here. I might leave that caution on, it's kind of cool. Okay, some of you guys awesomely asked me questions. I'm going to go and write them down because I've forgotten to do that. And I'll be right back to do some more sanding and I'll answer your questions whilst I'm working away. I'm back. I've broken off some small pieces of sandpaper, nice high grade. As I've said to you guys before in other tutorials, I'm not saying this is the way of doing it. I'm saying this is the Angelo Nerfenstein way of doing it. It works for me. I'm really hoping it works for you so that you can follow along and maybe pick up some tips along the way, like the emery boards. Some of you over at Facebook asked me some questions to keep me company whilst I'm doing this boring task. And I'm going to start with Dylan. Dylan wants to know, what is the average airspeed of an unladen swallow? I've got your number, Dylan. I know what you're up to, buddy. This is something to do with Siri, isn't it? I've got a vague memory of Siri giving clever responses to this question, so I'm going to give it a go now. Hey Siri, what is the average airspeed of an unladen swallow? Interesting question. You know why? Because she's put it as on-laden swallow. That's why I don't use Siri, guys. I don't use it for anything. I don't use it on my updated computer. I don't use it on my watch. I just use the apps. So sorry, Dylan. I've let you down there, pal. Nothing smart from Siri's mouth. I'm going to have to move on to the next question. Martin. Hey, buddy. Do you ever listen to music while working? Do you know, I used to listen to music while working until I started recording YouTube videos, and now I cannot because they will not go live if I am breaking some kind of copyright, as I have found out before. So that's a shame because I do love music. I love having music on in the background generally. And you're right, it definitely does make tasks like this far less monotonous. So yeah, that's why there's no music on in the background. Only the music that is edited in afterwards. Lee. Hey Lee. He's got 2 questions. Have you ever tried something like blue tack instead of masking tape? You know what? I never have, and that is fascinating to me. I would have just assumed that that stuff would have just got stuck everywhere. But I think I might give that a go. It's interesting. Find it interesting. Top tip from Lee. Blue tack instead of masking tape. Interesting. I like that. His other question. Where do you stand on the laws against airsoft toys? This is a big one. I'll tell you why. I lived in the UK for many years, and I had quite the airsoft collection. I had CO2 airsoft, just regular airsoft, and I loved those things. They were a whole lot of fun. Really cool. I didn't shoot at anyone. I wasn't in any of the like airsoft leagues. I literally just did target practice because I don't really like shooting at other people, oddly, given I'm such a huge Nerf fan. So where I stand on the laws against airsoft, that's a tough one, because here in Australia, obviously our gun laws are strict, but it means that gun crime is really low. So pros and cons. It does annoy me, the airsoft thing, because mainly because I've been in shops here on the Gold Coast or up in Brisbane, and they sell full metal models of pistols, and I'm like, well, so I can buy that, but I can't buy an airsoft pistol. I mean, that's made of plastic. It's just, I find the whole thing very strange. So yeah, where I stand is probably in the middle, to be honest. I can see why we're not allowed to have them, but it does irritate me a little bit that the law seems to have sort of no black and white. It's all very grey to me. Yeah. And as a collector, obviously, I had to sell my whole collection, one of which was my pride and joy, and I had to sell it before I moved back to Australia. I'll probably pop a picture up and cry a little. Okay, who next? Mark. How much will you charge to make a pair of blasters to look like Halo assault rifles for a 7-year-old's birthday? Oh geez. Sadly, when you're doing commissions, age of recipient does not really come into it, because the same amount of time and effort is going to go into whatever that is, regardless of how old the person getting it is. Otherwise, I'd be in real trouble, because I love doing random acts of kindness, and I would be a pauper who's constantly giving things away. So a pair of blasters to look like Halo assault rifles. You know what? I might be able to help you out there, Mark, and I'm going to save you a whole heap of money. There, Boomco have got amazing Halo assault rifles coming out at the start of December, as far as I'm aware. I'm going to stick a picture up and blow your mind, because I really want these myself. So you check those out. Thank me later, buddy. Who have we got next? Christopher, of all the Nerf projects you have completed, which is your favourite? That is tough. I feel like I change this now and again. But I love that Borderlands one that I showed you guys in an earlier video. But I probably love the Mav 2D2, the Nerf Maverick R2D2 one, because that was the first mod that I thought, hey, people like what I'm doing. This is cool. Because I'm one of those saddos who likes making other people happy, which I don't think is a bad thing in life. That's why I'm doing tutorials. Yeah, I think maybe the Mav 2D2, but I have done a lot that I've liked, but I'm never fully happy with them. It's very rare that happens. That's the steampunk tutorial that I just did a while back. That was a rarity in that when I finished it, I was like, whoa, this looks cool. Sorry guys, my dogs were being a pain. Now I've lost track of where where I was because I had to rush into the other room to stop them barking at something. I think it was Macho Bravado. Do you modify internal or just cosmetic? Also, where do you stand on orange tips for cosplayers at conventions? Okay. I only do cosmetic. See, I think I just said you haven't followed me for very long, otherwise you'd probably know the answer to that one already. Yeah, I don't know what happens inside these things. I don't know about pressure and all that stuff. I would love to, but I've got no one to teach me. So, yeah. And what was the other thing? Where do I stand on orange tips for cosplayers at conventions? Well, I know the conventions that I go to here, generally people don't have those. I don't remember seeing an orange tip on anything lately at any of the conventions that I go to, but I live in Australia, so I don't know if that's the reason why. I can understand that perhaps in places where gun crime's quite high, having the orange tip might help, but then you could probably put an orange tip on a regular gun, so it makes no sense to me. As a aesthetic purist, orange tips annoy me no end, which you will rarely see me leave the orange tip on, but I do tell people who have commissioned me, don't be an idiot. Like, make sure you're not waving it around outside, because that is just begging for trouble. Even though, as I said to the earlier one, the Airsoft question, it's really strange here because you can buy full metal pistols that look like, you know, like a Browning, a proper gun. So I really don't understand the orange tip thing. I find that very strange as well. Hope that's answered your question there, Macho Bravado. Next up, Rex. Do you watch anime, and if so, what are your favourite series? Sorry, the reason I'm stopping is because I'm having to read the questions because I could never remember that many. Do I watch anime and what's my favourite series? You know, it depends on your definition of anime. Yeah, definitely depends. My favourite anime, and you probably would disagree and say that's not anime because it's an American series, is The Legend of Korra, which I absolutely love. I've seen the entire lot of series twice. I just love that character. I love everything about it. I love the snarky way that it's filmed, the script, the characters. Really, really cool. Other than that, the other one that I am still trying to catch up on is Attack on Titan, which is really grim but just fantastic. I'm assuming that would be considered anime. As for proper anime, that you might consider proper anime, the two that I really want to watch that I have never seen are Death Note and Kill la Kill, because somebody told me that they are brilliant. So I need to try and find the time to catch those at some point. I hope that's answered your question. I think I've answered everyone's question, yay! And then I'll probably come back tomorrow. I'm not standing where the epoxy is because I'm not sure that it's quite dry yet. And this entire thing should be undercoated in black. And that is where we're going to begin. Thanks for spending time with me, guys. I really appreciate that. I appreciate the questions. If anyone adds any after that, I will, of course, answer them in the next part of this tutorial. Thought I might as well add a couple of new questions onto this and also show you a top tip with these emery boards again. So to get into skinny places like here, where there's text, I want to remove part of that text. So I've just taken some scissors to it, and it's still really solid. Then you can just get in there and just get the part sanded that you want, rather than accidentally sanding over the bits you want to keep. These things are great. I can't sell them to you enough, really. Okay, so I had a couple of new questions I'm going to add to this one. If I get any after this, I'll add them to the paint tutorial, obviously, because this has taken me longer than what I thought it would. Callum, what, if any, plans do you have for the cosmetic mods or paint jobs on the new AccuStrike range? I haven't actually got any plans as such. Usually I let things hit me and then I just go with it. I like the, is it the Alpha Hawk, the rifle? I think that's what it's called. I like that. I like the design of that. It's really nice. I like the how it's got that weird grip guard over the front. So yeah, I think out of them, that would be the one that I would go for. What's the other one? Is it Falcon Fire? I'm sure they're named after birds. Falcon Fire. That one reminds me a little bit of the Lanyard Shell Shock, which is a favorite of mine. I really like that blaster. Or the Auto Scout, I think that's Lanyard as well. It seems like they maybe took their inspiration from there. So yeah, I haven't really got any plans as such for those, but I wouldn't mind getting my hands on the Alpha Hawk. That looks pretty cool. So thanks for your question, Callum. Oh, and you wanted a shout out to your page, which I am going to do. I'm going to pop it right here, Azamira Creations on Facebook. Get over there and check that guy out. There's some cool stuff. Has some paint issues that we discussed, I think, in the last tutorial with the masking tape taking the paint off. Oh, so annoying. But yeah, check that page out. If you can hear noise outside, by the way, I think someone's getting the driveway jet washed or something. Sorry about that. Next question was from Christopher. And Christopher wants to know, who are the people you watch and follow? Well, I'm assuming you mean Nerf modders as opposed to just general folk that I like watching. You have mentioned in your thing that you follow Spencer and Heavy Starch. I follow them as well. Spencer's a good pal of mine. And Paul Hudson, I just think that guy's enthusiasm for the hobby is just absolutely brilliant. He's always very supportive, so yeah, I definitely follow those two. I love watching Spencer's videos because he's also super enthusiastic. I like how he starts a new friends welcome and all friends welcome back, and his stuff is just crazy. I mean, back when I very first started Nerf modding, yeah, Spencer was one of the guys that I really looked up to because he was a great modder, but he was also helpful. Didn't keep secrets to himself and things like that. He was, you know, if I asked him a question when I was beginning, he would actually take the time to answer me. So really, never forgotten that. Really cool guy. Who do I follow? Oh, Clowny Nerf, I follow you. I follow you. That's funny. I'm going to give you a shout out actually, Clowny. I also follow well, I wouldn't say follow, I'm not like stalkerish, but I love JodoCast. The pulse rifle thing, whoa, blows my mind. I wish I had the money to order one from him because his stuff is just amazing. If you haven't checked him out, definitely check him out because that is just craziness, that pulse rifle. That is a dream purchase right there. Yeah, really cool stuff. I hope I answered your question in a roundabout way, Christopher. Sorry, I'm concentrating on trying to take off part of the text and not the caution because I wanted to keep that. I am going to crack on with this. And I am hoping next time you see this, it will be undercoated and fully sanded. I need to sand everywhere that I put the epoxy yesterday because obviously that's fully dry now, so it's safe for me to sand. So I hope I've answered everyone's questions and I'll catch you on the flip side. Just a really quick top tip. I didn't want to do this and not show you in case you're doing your own, obviously. I've done the old PVC cutter, so you just sharpen the edge of the PVC and then push it into the foam. And the reason I've done that is I've cut out a circle of foam and I've just sat it in the end here, and that's because when I spray it, I don't want the spray paint going in there and hitting that clear plastic because I still want it to have the glow when it's painted. That's it. I just wanted to add that in so that you knew that I had done that. Who needs a rotary tool when you've got these awesome things? There you go. The really deep Star Wars thing, totally gone. It's as smooth as a baby's bottom.